On the 26th of January, 2016, 15 GPS satellites started broadcasting the wrong time. They were off by 13 microseconds, 13 millionths of a second. Digital radio went down across Britain. Telecom networks threw alarms. And on trading floors, systems started canceling their own orders. Nobody got lost, because GPS was never really about maps. There are around 31 GPS satellites over your head right now. People think they send down a position. They don't. Each one carries an atomic clock, and all it broadcasts is the time, over and over, forever. Your phone listens to 4 of them at once. It compares how late each signal arrives, and from those 4 tiny delays, it solves for where you are. Position isn't sent. Position is calculated from time, which means the free, global, absurdly precise clock is the actual product. The map was always the side effect, and over 40 years, almost everything we built quietly plugged into that clock. So let's kill it. Not jammed, not spoofed, gone. Every GPS signal stops at once. For the first 60 seconds, nothing happens. That's the strange part. Critical infrastructure doesn't run naked off satellite time. It runs off local clocks that GPS keeps disciplined. Cut the signal, and those clocks don't stop. They start drifting. That's the whole story of the next 12 hours. Not a blackout. A slow, silent disagreement about what time it is. Hour 1. Cell towers go first. Neighboring towers have to agree on time to hand your call from one to the next without stepping on each other. As their clocks drift apart, the handoff window narrows. You don't lose signal. You lose calls. Mid-sentence, at the edge of a cell, and only sometimes. Which is worse, because nobody can prove anything is wrong. Hour 2. Financial markets. European regulation requires high-frequency trades to be time-stamped to within 100 microseconds of true time. Not for elegance, so that when 2 firms disagree about who traded first, there's an answer. With the reference gone, the exchange's clock and the bank's clock start telling different stories about the same trade. And in 2016, with only 13 microseconds of error, some systems didn't hesitate. They refused the trade and canceled the order. Not a crash, a refusal. The safest thing a machine can do when it doesn't trust its own clock is nothing at all. Hour 4. The power grid. Across the network, thousands of sensors measure the phase of the alternating current, where the wave is in its cycle, thousands of times a second. Compare 2 of them, and you can see power flowing where it shouldn't, seconds before anything trips. That comparison only works if both sensors agree on the time to within about 1 microsecond. GPS is how they agree. Lose it, and the grid doesn't fail. It goes blind. Operators keep their power and lose their early warning, running a continent on gut feel and phone calls. Hour 8. Data centers. Distributed databases resolve conflicts by asking which write happened first. When servers disagree about first, they don't crash. They quietly disagree, and then confidently serve you 2 different answers to the same question. Hour 12. Ports stop routing containers. Emergency dispatch loses automatic vehicle location. Seismic networks can no longer triangulate an earthquake, because triangulating an earthquake is also just comparing arrival times. So here's the number. The UK government commissioned a study on exactly this. Their finding: A single day without satellite navigation and timing costs the United Kingdom roughly £1.4 billion. A 5-day outage, £5.2 billion. And that's one country, working from 2017 dependencies. The United States has no operational nationwide backup. There were plans. There have been plans for 2 decades. And remember what 2016 actually was. The satellite being retired was SVN-23, launched in 1990. Taking it out of service triggered a bad software upload. The error ran for over 5 hours before anyone caught it. 13 microseconds from routine maintenance on a satellite older than most of the systems depending on it. We think of infrastructure as concrete and copper, things you can point at. But the thing holding it together is an agreement that every machine on the planet is reading the same instant off the same handful of atomic clocks, 32,000 kilometers up, maintained by one Air Force. It has never fully failed. It failed by 13 millionths of a second once, for 5 hours, and we felt it. The question was never, what happens if we lose the map? It's what happens when we stop agreeing on now.